Flagge! Drew Flagge, everyone!
What's up, members of my cult, apparently? Wow, I just turned this into a whole shit show. This is gonna happen. I clipped my fingernails for this, but I still look exactly like this. So what was the fucking point, right? I don't know, I dress this way because I have a new favorite hobby. I like to go to Target, stand around, and when people come up to me, I go, no, I don't work here. It's my new favorite thing to do to everybody. It's great. I don't know, I'm drinking beer now because I have a favorite drink. My favorite drink is G&T's, but not the kind you're all used to. Because a couple weeks ago on a night, much like tonight, after a comedy show that I was on, one of my friends came up to me and was like, hey man, that was a lot of fun. Let me buy you a drink. And I was like, all right man, I'll have a G&T. And he comes back from the bar 10 minutes later and goes, here you go, gin and Tito's. I was like, the T stands for tonic, John. And he goes, whoops. But I'm not an asshole, so I drank it. That's a quadruple tall. That's 4 pours of alcohol. It's like a $16 drink. So then I drank like 5 more of those things because it's really fucking good. I have a job. Can you believe that shit? I'm gainfully employed. And I look like this. And I work with one of my best friends in the world. His name is Rob, and Rob is my best friend because he says stupid shit all the time. Like, he was having an argument with another employee one day, and I was coming around the corner, and this is exactly what he was yelling at another employee. He was going, I don't fucking know, dude. Ask Drew. He's got the kind of autism that makes him know everything about superheroes. That's just like regular autism. Like, that's just plain old autism. That is autism 101. That is base level autism. That is Iron Man's Mark I armor made in a cave with that little Arab guy autism. Those spare missile parts from his company if you saw the movie. That was like Doctor Strange before he was allowed to use the cloak of levitation. It chose him when he was worthy. That was like Daredevil's brown and yellow suit kind of autism. Like that's like brown and yellow suit. He didn't know he looked like classic Wolverine, like he was copying. He didn't know that. He was blind. He used his sonar to fight the ninjas. I was like, what's your question, Rob? And he goes, this is the question he's trying to get answered. He's like, wasn't the bitch that was fucking Aaron Rodgers an X-Man? And I was like, yeah, it was Olivia Munn. She was Psylocke, purple swords, telekinesis. It was crazy shit. Fassbender was the real star of that movie. He's like, shut the hell up. You can't talk to autistic people like that. I'm overstimulated. I might bite your neck now. Don't do that kind of stuff. Rob's a hoot. He says a lot of dumb things. He knew I used to hang out with my little sister's boyfriend when they were dating. He was like, what's it like hanging out with the guy who's banging your sister? I was like, I don't know. It's fine. It's not like we're competing or anything. Like, not like jealous. I've gone 21 years without banging my sister. I'm pretty sure I'm not interested. Or I'm playing the world's worst long game. I like the dear God reaction. That's fantastic. You know who hates that joke? My sister. Told her, I was like, this is gonna be on a TV recording. She goes, can you not do that? I'm like, absolutely not. It's in the set. I don't know, I made a lot of big decisions last year in my life. I bought a condo. That was the biggest decision of my life. I'm a homeowner. That's right. We have condo bylaws that we have to abide by. My favorite rule is that we're not allowed to have more than 35 pounds worth of pets in our unit at one time. But there's no weight limit on the kids in this place. Like, you should see these little bastards. Like, there's a kid across the hall from me. I call him Nom Nom Nathan. He just stomps from snack to snack. He's just yelling about Gushers and Mountain Dew. He's gonna be a stand-up comic one day. I was like, fine, I can't have 35 pounds worth of dogs, but can I have like 300 mice? And they're like, we'd rather you didn't. I'm like, well, here's the thing. Carol, is it? I'm gonna be over that weight limit for a while. Because I gotta release a snake now to eat all those mice. And she's temperamental. Her name's Fluffy. She's gonna be there for a while. I don't know. Just don't fall asleep. You'll lose a leg. Oh, they turned me into a snake guy and I don't even sell cocaine. Like, what's that about? Just condo bylaws. I don't know. That's a crazy thing to say to people in public. Snake guy now. I don't know. That didn't actually happen. That was a lie, sir. I'm sorry. Sorry I did that to you. I have to come over and play with my pets. I don't know, man. If you can't tell by now, I'm single. Just get that out of the way. You ever get so mad at a basketball game that your grandma Facebook messages you and says, you need to find a girlfriend? Like, that happened to me, kind of. I was like, do I seem like a guy who's going to settle down with a nice girl? Probably not. I'm not going to have, a boy and a girl because, we wanted one of each, so we can both be happy and disappointed. I'm not going to be wearing pale jeans, wearing New Balance shoes up on a ladder, cleaning up my gutters on a windy Sunday. It's not happening. No. You know what kind of guy I am? I'm more of a, oh shit, I didn't do the dishes for a couple weeks and now I'm going to be eating my morning oatmeal out of a pint glass I got for free from a brewery tour kind of guy. That's the kind of thing you're dealing with, ladies. I don't know, I don't want a conventional relationship anyways. The first girl I ever fell in love with, I'll describe her to you guys. You'll see why I fell in love with her. Well, we were 14 years old and she had a bunch of tattoos. You didn't hear that wrong. First tattoo she ever got was the summer in between 8th grade and freshman year. It was a skull and crossbones tattoo. It was on her wrist. It was made with a Bic pen in a basement drinking party. Yeah, she covered it up with slap bracelets so her dad didn't know it was there. She smoked Marlboro menthols at 14 years old. She would bring a thermos filled with blue raspberry UV vodka and Sprite to school every single day. She called it snow cones. What I'm trying to tell you guys is Jenny Bennett was a 10, okay? I had a little present drop in my lap the other day. I actually came across an ex-girlfriend's Tinder profile. That's a treat if any of you guys run into that. This girl, I read the profile, and this is exactly what it said. She said, I used to date a guy who was a bit of a know-it-all. And I was like, spoiler alert, that's me. Tell you that was me. And then she said, I absolutely hated it. First date ideas. Let's go to trivia. Well, what do you want? Do you want the guy who's going to put your team over the top with all of his knowledge of Marvel? Or do you want me to be a quiet loser and you don't get that $50 gift card to that bar you're going to be at next Wednesday? Girls seem to be like, oh, it's a fun date idea, escape rooms. You know what's always an escape room on a date with me? When I start talking about conspiracy theories, okay? When she asks, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know, I think that the government killed John Benet Ramsey. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Her dad, John Ramsey, in the early 90s worked for a weapons company. He probably saw the plans the government had for 9/11, and because he was a good man, he wasn't on board. Killed his little girl because of it. They had to keep him silent. That is a lot to digest before the tacos get to the table. I'll leave you guys with this as a little experience, or a little thing. I have an 18-year-old cousin, so all the creepy dudes in the back, you can beat off this joke later. It's legal. It's legal. She went off to college and she learned all sorts of crazy things. She learned things like safe spaces and being triggered and cultural appropriation. And on Christmas Day, she actually accused me of cultural appropriation because I was wearing a Milwaukee Bucks hoodie. And she said, you know what, Drew, I don't think basketball's a part of white culture anymore. You probably shouldn't wear that. I was like, fine, I'll start acting my race. So I took all her shit and said, you work for me now. Then before the little bitch could unionize, I fired her. She lives at the poverty line with no benefits. You know what my Christmas gift to her was? Advice. Don't get a cavity. It's going to be so expensive. All right, everybody. I've been Drew Flagge. Have a good night.
Drew Flagge, you guys. Give it up one more time for Drew.